Hi, everybody. Welcome to One Page Story Extravaganza. Today is stream number 135, 134, 135, something like that. My name is Christopher Runsman. I say my name Run C Man, just to make it easier. And this is a stream where each day I get inspired by suggestions and ideas from people about one-page story ideas. One-page story. What about a page like this? It's that sort of a jam. I finish at least one a day of these, and I stream here Monday to Friday at 2 o'clock EST. There's a goal I've set for myself that I want to try to get 200 pages done within 200 days. 200 pages, 200 days. That's the goal. And I'm close. I'm almost there. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'll let you know how that goes by the end of the week. But if you like what I'm doing here, you can help me out by subscribing and liking and putting up notifications, or tell your grandma. Your grandma misses you. They don't get enough phone calls these days. Okay, let's get on to it. This is yesterday's page that was started. It is the suggestion was, I write these things down. The suggestion was, if any of the national holidays had to be celebrated twice a year, which they would have to be 6 months apart. So this is what today's page was about. It's a suggestion from Dee Willingham stream. Laura says, I usually just lurk, but I love listening to your videos. Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice of you. You're always welcome. And you're always welcome to take part as well, Laura. Anybody that has any ideas, I love ideas. So if you want to jump in, if you want to suggest anything, or if you there's questions about what I'm doing or anything like that, let me know. Let me know. People here don't bite. Hopefully, they don't bite. Okay, so yesterday's suggestion was what I just detailed. It was fun. It's fun to do. I think the date that we settled on was Day of the Dead, and but two of them, one for the dearly departed, and one for zombies apparently in this world. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. That suggestion came from Dee Dee. The final date was from Josh Kemble. This is drawn entirely in ballpoint pens, colored ballpoint pens, with a couple little watercolor washes in there at the end. But good fun. If you want to see the finished originals for any of the pages that I do, I put all that up on my Patreon, which is under my name as well. It's in the listings for the videos. It's like $3 a month Canadian, which is a nickel American. It's a nickel. Yeah, big thanks to my two super patrons, James and David. I appreciate it immensely. This every week I put up, and I put it up today because I was having problems with Substack loading yesterday. Every week I put up the previous week's pages. So I just put up the 8 from last week, as well as, I think it's 7. I think it's just 7 last week, because it was 8 or 9 the week before. And if you want to see those, you're more than welcome to jump on my Substack. It's like a newsletter. Instead of waiting for things to come in each day or whatever randomness of that, they just appear weekly, and you can just scroll down and see what the suggestion is and what the result is. Missing stuff here. Oh, hiya, Janet. Welcome aboard. So that's that. If you have a one-page suggestion or idea or anything like that, feel free to shout it out, put it in the chat, or put it in the comments after, or do-da. This is the book we put out last year. This is our one-page comic extravaganza. Because it's in a comic book format, that's why it's the comic extravaganza, whereas this year we're working on the one-page story extravaganza. So, you see all the different styles and pages, just like we're doing now. The difference is now we're working this way. So the new book will open up like that. Hey, how are you? How's things? So pay attention for that. It's going to be a few months away, long before Christmas. But Dee Dee's joined us. Hiya, Dee Dee. Welcome aboard as well. So, okay. I think that is I think we're wrapping everything up there on the things I try to get out before we get crack-a-lacking. So why don't I switch cameras? Hey, hi there. I think I've got a better setting for my camera today. Oh, the world is exciting. Hiya, Tori. Welcome aboard. Okay, so let's go to the book. Fingers burning me. Okay, so we just finished this rather involved. Today I'm drawing in pencil crayons. We just finished this rather involved suggestion that came from a book or a card or something, I think it was. But, we got it done. So we're getting close to getting, well, nowhere near caught up. Who are we kidding? I got like a dozen things I should be doing. But I thought today we would go with a suggestion by Salty Snacks. I don't know if Malcolm's here or not. But his suggestion is Pets Go on Strike. Which is fun. I don't know. I'm choosing it because I was forcing myself to be more deliberate. Every day, I don't prepare for what I'm going to do on the stream each day. But today, I wanted to make a quicker decision than previous days. So, I had looked at the page, and I had 3 things to choose from, and I chose one. Very proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. Good job, Chris. Thanks, Chris. Okay, we got lots of highs. Oh, it's so nice. I love that. I love that when everybody's saying hi to each other and greeting each other and awesome. Okay, so that'll be today's page. That's what we're working on. And I usually tell people what I'm listening to, and today I'm listening to a ridiculous amount of 1970s music. Just a big old folder file I have of it that. Hey, I found it. Big old folder file of it that, I'm really a nice variation on or a nice spread of music, I guess is what I'm looking for the time period. Right now it's the Wings. So, okay. So, pencil crayon. I've got these studio pencils. They're the 4 different little metal tin sets that I picked up through the dollar stores. I had to actually go and search at a few different dollar stores to find them all. But at this point now, I have 2 sets, and one on backup, and then one that I'm going through right now. I keep them in this sucker because I hate searching through the tins. I hate the noise of the tins. I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people hate the tin. Nobody loves the tins. Okay. So, I don't know. I think Pets Go on Strike. Well, first off, I'm going to anthropomorphize the characters. But that anthropomorphism is where cats take on cats, dogs, animals of any kind take on human characteristics, right? We make them like us. So I think that's where we're going to come at it from. Now, the trick with them going on strike is that in no way, shape, or form do I want to hurt all of the feelings of those people that are striking right now for the writers. Yada, yada, yada. That's the extent of my sympathy. Okay. Just, I want people to feel like their voices are being heard, even if I don't know that organizations or institutions do hear them. So, but I hope the best for them. Okay. So we're going to try to take a turn anyways and step away from the idea of relating it to that. So, all right, let's just start off by drawing a couple little pups, I guess. And we'll start from there. I think that the idea of Pets on Strike, I can either do it like a documentary. Dee says, yep, tins are annoying. They sure are. They sure are. I mean, especially like the complexity of them too. I've seen some pretty ridiculously complex tins, and then there's the simple ones that are just your you open them, you pry them open, and there's a little plastic tray in there, and even that makes a noise that bugs me. So, and I've seen other more fancy pencil crayon sets that still come in tins, and I'm like, is there not a fancier presentation that we could have for these things? Why, back when I was a young cattle rustler, we had fancy presented pencils, as Dee Dee says. All right, so I'm drawing our first pup in here, and we'll see where that goes from there. I've got a bunch of pages that I've been doing in addition to the regular page of the day, and it's only because I'm taking a really quick break from working on anything else for the moment, just to try to, I want to hit that 200 pages, 200 days. A lot of people do these sort of 100 days of comics, and that's fine. I mean, sometimes people need those things in order to motivate themselves. And I'm completely good with that, because, if some people need a routine and a regimen in order to produce, and other people just like taking part of the fun things. But I'm not quite doing the 100 days of comics. I'm actually doing 100 days of story pages. I'm objectively aiming to have 100 of these then. So. Okay, so here's our first pup coming in. I was looking at a small photo of a puppy. I literally just typed puppy, and the first thing they gave me is one of the kind of types of dogs that I can't stand. But that's okay. So I'm going to try to do this as, there's a couple of things I could example. Actually, I'll show you one right now if you want to see something from the old library. When I talk about anthropomorphism, what I'm referring to is, should have made sure I knew where it was before I walked over here. There's a book called Black Sad, and Black Sad is, and then there's the Claw books as well. I found them first, so that's what's coming up. All right, so here's Claw. I've got one to show you. And yeah, I think that's what I can find right now. It's too bad. Oh, I got it. There we go. Okay, I'm on my way. So here's two examples of anthropomorphism. And Black Sad is one. And then another is Claw. And so these two books, they're very different in a few regards. Claw is, I'm not going to try to pronounce names because I do not want to do injustice to these names, but Claw is largely set in a human world where there are individuals that can become the representations of the characters in the Zodiac. And so these different anthropomorphic beings, these half tiger, half man, half rooster, half man, they fight it out to see who's the king of the Zodiac. And there's a whole bunch of different ones, but the personality traits of those animals affect the people that carry those totems. And so this is a really beautiful book, and you can see a really stylistic approach to the work. But once we get into this crazy business with people turning into animals, it gets wacky. Black Sad's very different. Black Sad is a crime noir book, but everybody's an animal. So in this case, the main character, Black Sad, is a Black Panther, Private Eye, right? So, excuse me for all the flippy floppy tape. So here's a couple of there's Black Sad now in one of the female characters that shows up throughout it. There's a boxer who's a gorilla. There's a guy who trades information who's a weasel. There's a couple of nasty characters that work as enforcers for the big white tiger businessman. Like that, it just all of these characters have these very, like, here's a nice cleaning lady who's a mouse, you know, and sort of these animal traits represent somewhat of their characters. There's a blowhard walrus debt collector, you know. I mean, it all adds up. But these are absolutely beautifully illustrated, and there's another volume, yet another volume of these coming out. But I really enjoy crime noir, so these are kind of a really gorgeous example of that. So when I'm talking about anthropomorphism, that's what I'm talking about. Animal people. I hope that helps make a little more sense of things. So as I'm drawing our little puppies here, I'm going to draw a couple of them, and I'm going to draw them holding up some signs. You know, as one would. I don't know. So by putting their, see, I don't want to change them up too much. That's the whole thing, right? Is that there has to be some degree of similarity to how the actual, you know, animals work and look and function. But at the same time, I need to alter their body types, like they're giving them a little bit more human-y arms, I guess. I don't know, human-looking arms. So that I can put a sign. I should be using a ruler, Janet. I know. And so here's our first character right off the hop, and we'll put a sign in his hand here. Now, there's a part of me that has to decide a couple things right now. Am I going to be typically silly, like I usually am, or do I want to put a serious edge on the page, right? So these are all the things that sort of come around in a decision-making process. I'm of the mindset that rather than plotting a whole page or an image out, just start cracking. Just start cracking on some aspect of it, and you'll move on through it. But nothing's going to happen if you don't get going. So I tend to develop the story along the way. And I don't know how other people work when they're writing and illustrating stories, but that works for me, right? So I thought I'd put, let's finish the sign off here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of these guys together. So again, if anybody has any ideas of page ideas, or if anybody has any questions about anything, hey, Chris, what's wrong with you? I don't know. There's nothing as far as I know. My friend Barry can confirm that for me. Can't you, Barry? I sure can, Chris. I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope that, things are going according to your master plans, your grand designs, because the week is, the world is challenging enough without things not being at least a little nice to you. Thank you, by the way, everybody that has been, sharing images and sending stuff of what they're working on. Man, it's really cool to see that, and I appreciate that very much. Now, I've had one person say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And, I told them what I thought of it. And, I thought, that's great. And they were asking for, do I have any insights to try to help them make those couple pages better? And I said, look into these things and find out about this sort of stuff. And, I think that went fairly well. So if there's ever anything I can do to help anybody else out, let me know. I've had it where, with somebody in the past where, not recently, but somebody in the past had said, what do you think of that? And are you asking me to, for what I had just described to you? Yeah. And I said, well, try this. Yeah, I already knew all that. Oops. I don't know that. All right. So here's our first picketer for the Pets Go on Strike page that we're working on today. So here's our first guy. Let's do a trio of them. So in the books that I showed you, if anybody's interested in seeing what the ISBN number is on those, just let me know and I'll let you know that. Black Sad, those books are beautiful. So are Claw, but I mean Claw is very action oriented, whereas Black Sad is just gritty crime. You can't show all of that on the stream, but the down on his luck detective, that sort of a motif. But they're so beautifully done, so beautifully illustrated. Appreciate them very much. I even bought the Black Sad sketchbook, like the making of. I guess it's called. Okay, so I'm going to have this guy's tongue sticking out. Oh, I'm missing some stuff here. Philip says, good afternoon, Philip. And he says, listening while going for an afternoon walk. That's cool. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear. I'm going to go out and do a little bit myself this afternoon, but not like a nice walk. I'm going to mow the lawn, but it's still getting out and about. Okay, so here's our little guy. I think I maybe want his tongue to be like this. Like he's truly licking his face. All right, we'll get to it. So let's get this in here and then get the goofy ears on this thing. I've been debating about whether or not do I put a can in front of these guys and have him warming his hands up. Now, I knew somebody who was the head of a union for a city service here in London, and he had a bunch of barrels in his driveway for if they got us go on strike, we're ready to go. And I'm like, you're living this is kind of crazy, just sitting here with all these bins for putting fires in your driveway, but you got to, man, you got to stand up to the man. I'm like, for what you do? They weren't doing anything too radical there. It was just a public service, and it was like, is all of this really necessary? It seemed far more ceremonial the way that he had it arranged and put together. Okay, so I think I'm going to have this guy's hands, his little puppy hands. I'm going to put them like so. And again, the arms are a little bit humanized in order to be able to get them to hold up the sign like people do. Okay. So we'll get this down. I'm not even overly defining the fingers as being regular fingers, but more like little paws. But that's okay. In the logic of whatever it is that you're working on, it's your rules. So in this world, that makes sense. Excuse me. Okay, so here's his sign. And so he's not as disciplined as our first guy. He's got his sign up. He's stepping proudly. But this little guy is, he's doing his best. I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Uh-oh. Toronto's getting rain, Philip says. That's not. It means it's coming to him next, and it'll come to me after that. I don't know if it's going south. Laurie and I went to Toronto recently, and the weather was just gorgeous the whole time we were there. I did a lot of walking. That weekend. Okay, so now I'm going to draw this little guy's little dark belly and so on and so forth. Didi has said that Toronto might get rain, so it'd probably help if there's any fires still there. I haven't heard if they're still burning. Those fires are much more north than Toronto. They're up in Algonquin. I don't know that anything's come any farther in south than. I guess it's Algonquin. I guess that's it. Pardon my yawning. Excuse me. Yeah, a lot of challenges brought on by the big fires, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get some little dog legs on this guy. So even though, the dog legs, even though the tails, I'm still trying to make it feel like a little more organized as characters go. Think about using a small picture when you're using reference, is that it sort of forces you to have to think about the shape of things and how the contour, the inside line of a dog's leg would need to be defined. So I tend to like to use small images while I'm working as opposed to big resources, because it makes me think more. It makes me take more into consideration, and I think I can execute something a little bit better because I know that, if it's a boat, I understand the boat. Uh-oh. Jim, I just turned in. I'm offended. I don't know how or at what, but I just know somehow I must be. Hello, everybody. Hi, Jim. Hi, Penny. How are you? That Jim is funny with the yolks. Okay, so let's draw one more guy here. I'm trying to think of. Let's make him a little taller. Why is that, Chris? 'Cause. Salty says, this is from your suggestion today, Salty. I wonder what they're protesting. Oh, thanks very much, Dee. Dee calls Salty Snacks Chex Mix. I don't know what they're protesting at. The whole thing is pets go on strike. Now, are they going on strike in support of the writers? I don't know. I haven't considered it yet. haven't thought too deep of what the actual thing they're striking is. It's going to be something ridiculous. You know, it's me. It's always ridiculous. So I'm going to turn this arm in a little bit. Because we want to make sure that our puppies are holding on to their ridiculous little signs with their somewhat human arms. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Tori sent me a picture today. Tori, have you posted that picture you sent me today? Did you post that? Because you should. Okay, so that's where I got to pay more attention as I'm going through my drawing, because the sign's going to go through here. So before I start, if you only think about the characters on a page and you don't think about where they are in said page, you can usually tell that. And so I always want to think about the context of where the characters are in the space and what it is they're doing. And so with that, I have to make sure this guy's got his little sign. And again, we'll decide what people are protesting in a minute. I don't equal pay for pugs. I don't know. I was just thinking about something. I could have, well, maybe I just want to show you. Maybe I don't want to just, I'll tell you. What if we have, they're kind of like a really organized militant group type thing. What about that? Philip's at the grocery store. We'll see you later, Philip. Have a great day. Tori says, the van one or the bunny in a car. The van one or the bunny in a car? Is that a suggestion? Do you want me to write that down? Or did I miss something? Because often I forget what the heck I just said. I'm so sorry. Let me know what, just help me out with that, what that's a reference to. I went off into my head there. I do that. I tend to close my eyes when I'm envisioning something, and I can't make sense of it. I don't know why. But it helps me. It helps to facilitate, the story I'm putting together. So we'll get these little. I think I want that shoulder raised and that softened shoulder on this side. Yeah, that's better. Feeling better about that. All right, T. Okay, so this is the third pug I'm putting in now. And then we're all puppied up. We got a good start. Oh, yeah, I asked if you posted the pic. Yeah, both. All of the above, Tori. I really enjoyed what you sent me this morning. And so, yeah, please post that for everybody to see if you haven't already. Really, really solid sense of tone and line. Please, if you get an opportunity, go and look up Tori's page. Tori, if you want to put your link in the stream or in the chat here, that'd be great. Okay, so Didi has said they're protesting leash laws. All right, we'll write that note down. Protesting leash laws. Drawing dogs and listening to the song Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. Yeah, it all comes together. A little bit of nudity here, folks. Those puppies have no clothes on. Oh, my Lord. Don't think I can as I'm not a mod. Well, if you just type it in your thing, and as you're typing normally in the chat, just type your thing. It should pop up as a link, shouldn't it? I don't know why it wouldn't. Okay, so we're getting this little crazy guy's legs in here. Silly. This is silly. Only mods can post links in stream. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I gotta get mods. That's what I gotta do. But I never had that much of a fashion sense. I was always more of a rude boy or a yardie. You know what I mean? That's right. Fashion yokes. Huh? Fashion yokes here, folks. Fashion yokes for all the folks. All right, let's raise this guy's leg up. Like he's stepping. Okay. So we got to get a head on this kid, and then so I'm just using his one tone for lightly putting everything in, and then we're going to get silly with some color in a second. Thank you for thank you for that, Didi. Thank you for letting me know, and thank you. Sorry, Tori. Thank you for letting me know as well. Please go look at Tori's Instagram. Is it on Instagram, Tori? The Artful Dabbler. Artful Dabbler. Trying to get this little guy's head right. Don't want to make him look like a bear. Okay. I know everybody has that friend that blurts things out, and then you all go until you realize that whoever you said it to is okay with it. There's this one friend that I had growing up that would have the most fantastic questions about, the strangest perspective on things. And I remember, and I'm only thinking of this because I got 3 dogs in front of me, but I remember him asking, how do I put it? Okay, so the female dog is pregnant with a litter, and then the little male dog is in the property of the owners as well. And I remember when a friend was telling us that this dog is pregnant, and then so and so is the dad, and this other friend of mine said, "Are they married?" And it's those sort of things that just pop into my head as I'm working, just because it's like what? So it's funny how those things pop in your head is the sort of information that flashes in your mind while you're working on things. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Chris is cuckoo for coconuts, but that's how my brain goes. Are they married? Well, I've never. Yeah, no. I don't think it. I can't even remember what the response to that was, if there was any response at all. Okay, so here's our 3, and I'll put the sign over this one's shoulder as well. Okay, so what was the suggestion again? It was protesting leash laws. So immediately my head starts thinking of things like, I can walk myself, or, don't tie me down. Just dumb stuff. So I'm just going to make a quick note in here, and I'll clean this text up, after I've scanned it and put it in Photoshop. Is it tie? Yeah, it's TIE. Don't tie me down. Oops, that's a little wide. It's a little wide. Again, it's going to come off anyhow. Just because I want to put nicer. I'm not a big fan of my own handwriting. So that's why the pages get done digitally. Don't tie me down. There's our first silly sign. And I'll have to come up with something for these guys. I'm just going to put no. This one means business. No. Okay. All right. And then I think, what was the other suggestion I made? Does anybody? I can walk myself. Thank you, Didi. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. No more leashes. Talk to the ball. That's fantastic, Tori. I can walk myself. Thank you. I'll do this one in. Okay, so we'll put, see, the spacing's a wackadoo on this. I could block myself. All right. Here's our chant for the day, everybody. There's all kinds of things we can do in this, like some of the animal farm references. Put some of if people have read Animal Farm, I hope you can put some of those references in there. 2 legs are better than 4. 4 legs are better than 2. If you haven't read Animal Farm, what it's about is animals on a farm. I'm real helpful today. Question of the day: are you afraid of snakes? For a second there, I thought that said rakes. Oh my goodness. Oh my heart. Question of the day: we demand more fire hydrants. More fire hydrants. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What was yours, Tori? 1, 2, 3, 4. No more leashes. I'm writing it off paneling here. I'm sorry. No more leashes. Talk to the paw. Oh my gosh. So good. Good fun. I really enjoyed yesterday that during the stream a suggestion to come in reference to what I was drawing with the page about. It's not even close to grab it. The holiday page. Whee! So I was really appreciative of the Day of the Dead suggestion that came through at towards the end of the stream. I really appreciate everybody that took part in that live process, and thank you very much, Dee Dee. And I know that you were a real healthy part of that, and anybody else. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we got the basic shapes of these guys, and let me see. I'll find a. There's few things in this world I hate more than when you go to sharpen a pencil and it breaks. No! Drives me crazy. Didi is only afraid of snakes if they are poisonous. Only if they're poisonous. They're not poisonous. Get out of here. This is kind of to do this as a page. It's a comedy of errors. I mean, I could have police breaking in, investigating a doping scandal, and that's why all the pugs are protesting the dog races. I don't know. Okay, so today's question from Jim: am I afraid of snakes? No. I was thinking about this. Way too much. No, not really afraid of snakes. But I don't see a lot of snakes here, so I'm sure that in more southern parts of North America, you'd see a lot more snakes than we do up here. Yes, I try not to be, but I think I am. Lizards, not afraid of it at all. Jim's in love with the lizard. Snakes, yes. Yeah. I'm not afraid of them, but I'm not going to go out of my way. Just come in and touch the snake. No. Awkward. Jim's afraid of Siri. Didi's iPad is a hater. Does anybody else have a piece of technology that drives them mad? That Commodore 64 is about to go out the door. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate on the eyes. And I don't want to use a black. I want to use like a really dark blue and I'm looking for there we go. I found one. Hey, this is exciting. This is way too light. Okay, so I got a nice dark blue, and let me think about light hair color on these guys, but it's kind of chestnut. So let's get some of these marks down. I tend to use a deep blue and like an ochre, an umber kind of a color when I'm doing blacks, because I find that for me, it's more like a really dark gray, but I tend to like it more. Now, if something demands black, of course you got to use, whatever values you can, but right now, I'm good with putting some blue and brown together for these cool kids. Make some more interesting shadows, because I find that when you do that, I'll hold it up, the blue sort of makes that value in the neck, because you've got the blue and the brown really lightly, one on top of the other. It kind of gives it a better sense of depth, right? Okay, I'm missing some stuff. Didi says I won't be just picking up any random snakes. And Penny says, see y'all soon. Gotta go. Thanks for coming by, Penny. Really nice of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's always such a fun group of people come in here. I didn't even get yelled at for not using a ruler from Janet today. I'm having a good day. Okay, so putting blue inside of these eyes. There we go. Just trying to build that up a little bit. I'm going to do a contour line around the outside of these. Just to kind of try to bump them a little bit. I like this guy. He's fun. I'm missing some stuff. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out. I love the Janet ruler references. What is the origin of that joke? Janet gets mad if you don't use a ruler and you draw lines. Janet is one of the people that in the stream. She'll yell at you. She will yell. Pick that ruler up, she'll say. Clean off your tools. I have a ruler sitting right here. Do you think I regularly use it? Not as much as I should. Can only claim style so much before it becomes just simple forgetfulness. I forget how to do these things, so I'm just gonna go with it this way. Very stylish. Thank you. Okay. What are we at? We're doing good. We're doing good for time today, folks. So I think the idea, clean off your tools. That's totally about Dee Dee. She has got some messy tools. Oh my goodness. All right. So I will do some nice red. You red? Oh, red? Yep. So this is the pencil set I mentioned earlier that I bought this year. That none of the colors match the band of color at the end. Not one of them. I feel like I should have one sign popping up in the background that just says thank you. Yeah, we'll stick with the red. A little trim line around that. Because there's a sort of a chestnut value to this little guy, so I was just trying to think of is that too much red in a room? It's going to have a lot of chestnut, the room, the page. We'll work it out. No rules. There we go. I put together the no sign just because I think that, come on, what better sign for a dog to protest something with than, its owner's commands? No, Mr. Scrufflet. No. There was a funny show called Father Ted on the BBC, and at one point, the priest on this craggy island, it's called, north of Northern Ireland, anyways. And so the town is going to, in the town theater, they're going to show The Last Temptation of Christ. And so because these characters are Catholic priests, they've been ordered to go and protest the film. And but because these characters are so ridiculous on this sitcom, it's by the same guy that did the IT Crowd. It's the thing he did before it. And then he followed the IT Crowd with Black's Books. Just some fantastic stuff. Anyways, so as people are going in to see The Last Temptation of Christ, the one guy holds up a sign that says, say no on the sign. And the other guy says, have a nice day. Say goodbye. Everybody just walked in the theater anyways. Completely pointless. Oh my gosh, Tori, yes, thank you. Girls, you forgot girls. The one, do I ever work on my art remotely, like coffee shops, parks, etc.? That's a fun question, Jim. Thanks for that. Before I forget, what Tori's referencing, what she's referencing there is Father Jack, the third of the three priests that live in this parochial house. He's just an old senile guy, and his dialogue is limited to, arse, feck, girdles. and it tells everybody to F off. But whenever anybody gets too close, come on, Jack, come on now. It's time for your bath. And he goes, ow! He punches him. It's so good. Oh, yes, of course. Tori's Irish. Of course you would know it. Of course you would know it. Yes, indeed. Okay, Jim's question. Do I ever work on my stuff remotely, like coffee shops, parks, etc.? I don't go anywhere without a sketchbook. So if Lori's driving the van, I'm sketching. And if I'm driving the van, my sketchbook is right there in the seat beside me. For when we stop, I have a problem. And that problem is my need for cowbell. All right. Yeah, I love, I can't remember his name now. Graham. See, I want to say Brian Linehan, but that's a guy from Toronto. I think it's Graham. Tori, if you remember who the writer of those three shows are, if you can let me know, please. But I love all of his work. I love all of his shows. And there's just a sensibility of the absurd notion that he has in his work. And I really appreciate that. And then there's another show that I really like, which is it's Bob Mortimer and Vic Reeves. They have they had variety shows for a long time, both in theater, in comedy clubs, and a television show, Shooting Stars. But then they did a show called, I think it's called House of Fools, and it's also got Matt Berry on it. Most people know Matt Berry for Things We Do in the Shadows and IT Crowd. Well, House of Fools, it makes me laugh. Morgana, trying to remember her last name, the one actress that's in it, she steals every scene she shows up in because she's just, it's very seldomly do you see a character in a program who is absolutely out of their mind. There's not a single part of this person that is on the same wavelength than anybody around them, and yet everything that they say is just hilarious. And then, of course, another supporting actress, this guy named Dan, who plays a number of different roles in a variety of shows that they do. But that's another sitcom that is just absolutely bonkers. Unfortunately, we don't get anything as bold here in North America. We really don't. You know what I forgot? I forgot Tails. I forgot Tails on these guys. Well, I'm going to leave this guy's tail off when it gets behind him. So as usual, when I start picking out colors for a composition, I keep a hold of them. I keep them separate. I don't throw them back into the pile of colors. I usually hold on to them in my hand so that as I'm moving through the page, those colors are moving with me. No, that's not to say that at some point I won't have 12 pencils in my hand. Linehan, it is. It is Linehan. Excellent. So good. So funny. He shows up in everything too. All of his shows that he writes. He's a character. It's simplistic comedy, and yet at the same time, it is so refined down into its simple. It's called meat. When you write jokes that have no fat on them, every word that's in a sentence is meat. Like you can't trim anything, or else the joke doesn't make any sense. And that's what his writing is like. There's a man snapping at the fingers of a bookstore owner, and he says, "You there. These books, they say they're leather bound. Is it real leather? Because I need it for my home to go with my leather bound couch." And he says, "Oh, okay. Well, how will you be paying me?" And he says, "You're talking about?" He says, "Well, how are you going to pay me?" He says, "Money." He says, "Is it leather money? Because I need leather money to go with my leather wallet. Get out of my store." I love it. Janet has a question for Jim. Jim, do you love rulers or just tools in general? And do you clean them? My neighbor came over. What is wrong with people? Hi, Chris. Welcome aboard. I'm still going to try the blue with the brown. Most of my Oddsville picks are sepia. Yeah, try this combination. It's a nice deep blue and a nice deep brown. And I even do that when I'm painting. So here's a piece I'm going to show really quick. Mind the blur. Okay, so over here, this is a piece I'm working on, a commission for somebody. But that back section there, that's blue and brown. And I'll build it up. I'll put a couple of different passes of it on the piece, and it just gets deeper and deeper. And so I'll use that, and then come in very sparingly with the black for just those really deep contrasts, instead of doing the whole, because the object in a painting is black. But by doing it this way, it gives a greater sense of depth and volume, I find, in drawing or painting or whatever it is. So you can do that in a whole bunch of different mediums. What was I doing? Oh, we're doing the blue. But it works pretty well. It doesn't turn out to be a black so much as it does like a kind of a charcoal. So I'm putting these highlights and little shapes. Okay, so I think what I need next is a, yep, that's the right one. I think what I'm going to need next is a kind of, what's the color I'm trying to think of here? Maybe it is like a sepia. Yeah, I want to put some of that in these guys, so just warm up their shoulders and just to give them a little bit of, hey now, what now? Very lightly. And use an orange. Sorry, tip of my nose is. Yeah, what the heck is going on with me today? All right, I'm listening to Cheap Trick now. Hi, Janet. I learned your ruler origin today. I never use rulers, says Jim. I only use $100 bills to draw straight lines. Then I throw them away. You throw them away, Jim? You don't pay someone to do it for you? You could probably pay somebody $20 to do that and save the $80 bill. Think about it, Jim. You could save the $80 bill. For those that are here on the stream today, on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST, Jim, who's in the stream with us, will be doing his next episode of Hey Man, how's your movie going? And it's about Jim's production process of making his next animated film. And so if you got any interest in that stuff, please look up Jim's name in the chat and go take a gander. Huh? Be a good little goose and take yourself a gander. It's really fun to see that process. And I think, it's what? I don't know the day. It's Tuesday. Dee Dee will be streaming tomorrow morning as well. One of my Janet streamed yesterday, so there's a video to watch. I had the good fortune to follow a stream where Janet was doing Pictionary. Oh, it made my day. It just made it. Says like a nice creamy orange. It's yellow. It's clearly yellow. I'm sure it was riveting, Jim. I don't want to grow up to be just like Jim, says Janet. However, the chances of me growing up at all are slim to none. Jesus, true. Thank you, Chris. You're welcome, Jim. Big announcement next. Hey, man, the return of Dr. Gary Hodges. Dun, dun, dun. This week on Hey, Man. Jim, thank you for having me on the show. It's been a while. Well, you're welcome to the show, Gary. Just don't cause any drama. It'll be good. It'll be like that. It'll be like a soap opera. Every now and then, one of them will just turn and look at a different camera, and cameras will switch around, and they'll get all dramatic and emotional for a moment. It'll be good. It'll be good. You get the right one, yeah. So I'm just putting pepper and a little bit of red into these kids. There we go. No. It says no. No, I'm going to go check out Jan's stream. Yeah, Pictionary. Her Pictionary things are so fun. I'm not a good Pictionary partner. I'm just not. It's either how long have I got to do this drawing? Literally overly specific, or there's a part of me that it's always, if somebody guesses it right away, I'm like, oh, when I finish drawing it. That, or it's so abstract that nobody gets it. I find that really frustrating. Don't tie me down, he says. Janet, what's your page's URL? Just look up Janet M. Young with a monkey face. You can't miss it. Janet's Pictionary streams are hilarious. I really highly recommend those folks. And you don't even get yelled at if you just keep guessing octopus. Octopus. It's not an octopus. Oh, the other part of me being bad at Pictionary is that my guesses are always ridiculous. Like, just instead of, oh, it's Jaws. It's fear of sharks is what I would yell. I don't know. There's something wrong with how that process is up there. Okay, so we're wrapping up on our first panel. No, not really. I'm going to fiddle with it a little more for a second. I hope you guys don't mind. So I got to sit down and I got to draw some different animals picketing. Now I've left this area here blank purposely because the panel is going to be like that. So in my head, that makes sense. All right. Which one of you are actually agreeing? You'll do. Okay. The monkey is Robert when he was modeling his underoos for me. That's kind of a secret. Just don't pull out the dictator card. That stream was epic. Yeah. My guesses are terrible. Sneaker one was pretty good too, though. Oh my gosh. Cranberry. Oops, wrong stream. Cat. Cats get dogs to pick it for them. Oh, that's so good. I'm going to write it down on the list of suggestions along the way. And if I don't end up using those in a page, I'll use them as a one-page prompt. Cats get dogs to pick it for them. Very Hollywood. That's very Hollywood. Look at what brings got the chat. Cranberry. Hey, what's this? This is our Pictionary. You take too long at Pictionary, Christopher. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Gotta finish off this. The legs there. Okay, so what's everybody working on today? Is there anybody that's got something fabuloso, something life-changing, something so earth-shatteringly cool? You're afraid to tell us because the earth might shatter? There we go. I like Canadian protest signs. Hey, cut that out if you don't mind. Hey, give her a rest, eh? Canadian protest signs say things like, hey, take it easy. There's a case of extremes. There are signs that are very polite, nice. Hey, let's not rock the boat, eh? That or they're just full-on vitriol and hatred. There's no middle ground. I got a number of people that drive through my neighborhood revving their big engines in their cars, flying flags out their windows that are not very kind to our Prime Minister. Drawing on a Pantone card, the apple green card. Can you guess what I'm drawing? You'll never guess it in a million years. Hold on, I'm good at this. The deciduous? Is it deciduous tree? Oh, apple green. Hold on. That's a hint. I feel like that's a hint. Apple green card. Apple green. You should do a green apple. What about that? Janet, you should do a green apple. Tomatoes. Only if they're fried. So silent. I'm painting. I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry. For the Sunday stream with Miriam Wolf. That's so cool. That's super cool. Is it a cranberry? Is it a sick dictator? You guys are so silly. All right. Some abstract shapes that sort of suggesting of grass. Yeah, man, grass. I'll answer questions. It's so close, Kat. That was so close. Dang. Something that's green and red. That's a tough one. I'm going to stick with my first guess. getting the sidewalk. I don't know. I hope it looks like a sidewalk. Grapes, my favorite for green. No seeds. There you go. Oh, Dory. Green and red. Kermit the Blender. Hi-ho. Okay. Just going to use a lighter green in behind. You look like a green. But you're not. Nope. Here's a hint. It's not edible. There's a great deal of things in this world that a person can eat if they put their minds to it, Janet. Great deal of things. Apple green. Is it plastic fruit? Poor Kermit, who's known in Mexico as Rene. That's interesting. Just frog. I got a question for you, Chris. In Mexico, I know that in some South American countries, this is the case. They don't call Batman Bruce Wayne, right? My friend of mine from South America says that for the South American printings of DC's comics from English into Spanish, they call Batman's Bruce Wayne persona Bruno Diaz. They call him Bruno Diaz because there's nobody where they live that would be named Bruce Wayne. Is the presentation my friend gave me? Nobody would be. I'm like, I'm sure there's somebody named Bruce. South America. There's got to be at least one Bruce. Let's find him. But it's just something you don't think about. It's not Kermit. However, I wish I had thought of that. Look over ideas, guys. Uh-oh. Oh, how do I want to go up? You know what? This is plenty high enough. Let the people's brains fill it in for the rest of it. Besides, I'm going to put texture. A wax apple. Bruno Diaz. Yeah, here in Mexico too. Excellent. I told that to somebody. They completely thought I was just fooling with them. There's no part of them that would believe any ounce of that. So much so that I had to bring in a Spanish printing of a lot of countries don't do, like, especially in Britain, they don't do like, here's a whole issue of X-Men. Well, they wouldn't just put out that issue of X-Men as it was. They would do anthologies of a bunch of short adventures from all these characters, or recurring adventures that would go over the books. And I think it was like that in South America as well, but I know for sure that's the method all the way through Europe, including Spain and the like. So not edible. That leaves up my green answer. Wax apple. You can eat a wax apple, Tori. I heard that from a friend. Okay, a wax crayon, green and waxy. You know, that's probably it. That's probably what she's drawing. A wax crayon. Just messing with this. Okay, so here's our first panel. I'm going to come in with that blue and just go around these letters just to kick that up a little bit. Put these in here, make it a little more visible. All right. I think I spelled Thai correctly. If you watch his movies with subtitles in the 80s, the name was always typed as Bruno Diaz. That's excellent. That's so excellent. Now, it's different in, I've asked a couple of people that I know, one friend from Korea, one from China, of, well, what is his name in China anyway? Bruce Wayne. And the friend in Korea, though, said that he has a Korean name in books with Korean printing for comics. And great guess, great guess, Chris, but wrong. Is it a leaf? Is it a fig leaf? Okay, so there's our first panel. Now we've got some fun ideas. Hey, you stay. Hey. We're not going to stay. Okay, we've got some fun ideas for carrying this forward. We demand more fire hydrants. 1, 2, 3, 4, no more leashes. Talk to the paw. And cats get the dogs to pick it for them. This is some good stuff. All right, so yeah, I think I want to have a close-up on somebody, yakking in the screen. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm not drawing in the sides of the panel, so I'll figure out how I'm going to go about it when I get closer to it. This is mostly because a Mexican president in the 80s prohibited English in Mexico for brands and stores. So there are very strange names around. This moved the movies and printed material. Is that true? Wow, that's kind of cool. My friend just told me that, and he's my age, so he was reading comics before the 80s. And he was telling me that it was because nobody in South America would be called Bruce Wayne. That's why it's Bruno Diaz. That's crazy. 7-Eleven stores were named Super Siete. Walmart was named Herrera, and so on. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I like that. I like to hear stuff like that. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go with this guy. So this panel, we're at 1:30. I'll just lay this out quick. So my intention is to do a close-up on the face of one of the little dogs, the spokesperson for their group. I just like the idea of a newscaster covering a picket. A picket. It's very cool. Thanks for sharing that with us all there, Chris. That's cool stuff. Okay. So I'm just roughing in the face, just following those lines around. Now all businesses are named in English. It's very trendy here. It's very trendy here right now in Ontario to name your business something, what? I'm trying to think of some of the names now. We've always had Fatty Patty's. It was a restaurant in London for a long time. It's a spaghetti place. And it's been called that since the 70s, Fatty Patty's. And then there's something about, bastard burgers or something like that. at the south end of the city. I can't get over it. You gotta do whatever you can to get people's attention now, I guess. That's rough. Rough. Now, Bruno Diaz is still so cool as a sub for Bruce Wayne, yet even after 20 years, my wife has to be sedated when she hears my Hebrew name. I should move to Mexico and get a cool one. Well, it's names are funny things. Names are funny things, right? Like, heading out, guys. Looking cool, Christopher. Thanks, Didi. Same body, Didi. I'm gonna change my name to Bruno Diaz. Maybe that way I can fight crime in the evening. Develop a bat fetish. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So drawing a little nose, just putting his face in, and then I'm gonna mow the lawn. Okay, so they do kind of look like, when you look at this kind of dog a certain way, they do kind of look like little bears. Tori says we could all be Bruno. Interesting that Clark Kent was not translated, considering the first movie was in 77, 78, so it's a mystery. Yeah, that is interesting, actually. Yeah, that's how we go. Okay. Yeah, Clark Kent doesn't. What about? Well, I mean, Wonder Woman and Superman have Spanish names, but yeah, why wouldn't they change Clark Kent too? El Clarko? I don't know. Okay, so this is the shape of the little guy who's going to give the testimony. These are our demands, Yeah. Where's Chim? I need to know when Koviak be on his stream. I'm crushing on him. He's so my type. Maybe he was not catching. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't have. Wonder Woman, she would have a Spanish pronunciation of her name, I'm sure, but Diana Prince, it's not. Okay, so here's our little ambassador. It's dark little face in there. Clarencio Costa, Clark Kent. You know what? I'm changing my name to that legally. That's a cool name. I never refer it as second, considered Clark. It's similar to Clarence. Never for second. Ridiculous. All right, well, there's the gist of this guy going down. I get his ears started there. So if anybody has any questions, anybody has any suggestions for anything, please let me know. By all means, anything I can do to help, or anything that you want to throw at me like hot fire, and then we'll figure out how to make that a movie. Well, we'll figure out something to do with it. What are we at? I'm going to finish up this last year. Okay, that's cool. And then the creator kept her name too, Diana Prince, in the TV series. Dougal, geez. Maybe someone didn't like Batman, decided to bully the character by changing his name. I want to change my name to Isabella Band-Aid. I want to change my name to Engelbert Humperdinck, but for all I know, somebody's already done it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Engelbert Humperdinck? Could you just imagine the first time people come across that? Come on. Or Freddie Fender. There's a lot of really ridiculous names in that. I guess that's the 70s. I guess that was the 70s and those albums were coming out. Man, oh man. All right, so I'm going to get the little muscly arms on this little guy and then get him colored in and then move forward into the page. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, guys. I hope that, everybody's having a good day and you're working on whatever it is that you want to be working on. By all means, the whole one-page idea or suggestion thing is open to everyone. Please feel free to take part in that. If it's too late to put it in the chats, you're always welcome to put it in the comments for the videos or the comments for postings that I do on Instagram and Facebook and Substack and Patreon. You're welcome to comment on those as well. If you don't want to do it in front of other people, you can just send me an email. So in the meantime, I'm going to get back to doing some things. And I only allot myself, the whole reason I'm an hour and a half and 2 hours is because I only allot myself so much time each day for specific things. And that's how I find I'm able to get X amount of stuff done through the day. So there will be times where I'll do longer streams. I'll probably let people know in advance, but I really appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. It's a lot of fun for me. I hope it's a lot of fun for you. I hope that maybe there's something that you can pick up from watching this silly person do what he does. But I really appreciate when people are throwing in ideas and stuff along the way. You're always welcome to do that, whoever it is. So, okay, super cool. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock EST. Bye for now.